So, Joanne, in your experience with working with different property management systems, how does Newbook stack up in terms of functionality?
In terms of functionality, the Newbook system is right up there with all the other systems that I use. I find that my clients really enjoy the ease of Newbook. It's easy to use, it's a very visual system. And so it has all the functionality that all the other systems have. But I find that people who are more visual really love the ease and the use and how it flows. And it's very customer, when I say customer, it's my customers. It's very easy for them. It's very customer focused and very easy to function. And it flows really well. Like you don't really have to go and find a setting in the back end. The setting is on that page, the one that you need to use. It's rare that you have to go looking for another setting. So I think the flow and the functionality of that flow has really been thought through quite really well. So when people are really busy and stressed, they don't have to think too much. It's click, 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 go.
So, are there any standout features that you've noticed when comparing Newbook to other systems?
I don't like to compare the systems. I'm in a very precarious position. I am Switzerland when it comes to software, particularly if you're comparing one to another. But what I always say to my clients and to anyone who asks me is create a shopping list. It's like if you're investing or buying a new car or buying a high value item, you really need to think about what you want out of the system. And so I quite often will say to people, create a shopping list. Think of all the features that you want and then compare systems. And then ultimately, the value proposition of those systems will be the ones that you choose because they resonate with you and what you want and your particular circumstances.
Do you have any client success stories that you can share from people that, have worked with Newbook?
I do. I've got a client. Am I allowed to name the clients? I don't know. I've got a client. I won't name them. They're a park, and they have just had to, because of demand, keep adding categories and keep doing their rates and keep changing things because they've gone from a sleepy little caravan park to a caravan park that's running at like 90% occupancy. I'd like to think that that has something to do with me, but it's not. It's actually the area that they're in. There's a lot of work going on. And so trying to set, you've got a tourist market, you've got your corporate market. So I'm doing distribution to corporates and in some channels, and I'm doing distribution to the tourists in another channel. I've got like 10 different rates pushing through. I know that sounds complex, but it's actually not once you've got it set up. Plus, they're on dynamic pricing. Plus, we're on really finely controlled seasonality and stop sales so that, the corporate market gets the corporate rates and they're getting the highest yield that they can get for those corporate rates. And we've also got those on dynamic pricing feeding through to distribution channels that will pay the travel agents, like a net. So that particular park has done so well, and every week I'll get several emails. That particular cabin, can we just move that to here? And can we? And it is really easy then to move cabins, be very responsive and very nimble. And that caravan park just emailed me just before to say, that rolling stop sell that you've placed on it until, can you now just revert that back? And it literally is just a click of a button. And I went, totally understand, not a problem. I'll do that for you. Makes me look good. But they're also making a great deal of revenue because we've been able to really optimize their distribution and their rate plans and really control them to what I would call a granular level.
And how long has this client been with Newbook? Do you know?
I don't know how long they've been with Newbook, but they've been with me for 5 years. So, and when I started, it was very basic setup, and Newbook and I and the park have grown exponentially over the last 5 years. Mm.
So, from a consultant's perspective, how intuitive do you find Newbook for new and existing customers?
I think it's a very intuitive program. It its flow, so user flow has been really considered, and so as this, for visual users, it's fantastic. For new users, they can quickly get and understand what's required, what they've got to click on, and then it's enough for them to get by. And then later on, when they become more experienced and they're learning more, then they can see the depth that sits underneath it, and then apply more controls when they're ready for it. But it's a very intuitive system, very visual. Hmm.
So, what kind of business outcomes have your clients experienced from using Newbook?
I focus very much on rates, revenue reporting, distribution, ensuring that the cost of business is being protected, ensuring that they're only offering the rate they want to the target market they want during the time that they want. So I find that really helps them fine tune their strategy, and also how they're going to move forward over the next 1 year, the next 2 years, the next 5 years, and let alone the next 2 days, because everyone's booking so late at the moment. I think that the revenue, the dynamic pricing feature, it's really very straightforward. In Newbook, it's quite easy to do. It's just you turn it on. So yeah, it's functionality. It's ease of use in the revenue and the rates department, and also the reporting department. Really help the parks understand where the money's coming from, what rate they're charging, who it's being distributed to, and then we can identify by reporting, where do we need to improve? What categories need a special love, special attention? I call them my problem children. What do we need? How can we help them? So by running reports, by analysing the data that comes from Newbook, and it's so easy to find the reporting and I think that there should just be lessons and lessons and lessons on reporting, but that's just me and my tiny little world. But there's so much inside that you can then export, find, discuss with your client, even summarize it so that they can then make, or we can we can all make really well informed revenue and distribution decisions, which is ultimately why they're doing the business. It's to make money.
So, Joanne, what feedback do you hear from clients that are using Newbook support?
I think the new book support is fantastic. I will quite often have an issue that I just can't work out. And I'm on Newbook all the day and I'm in rates all the time. But sometimes I get some, really far, weird, requests about how to set a particular rate up. And so sometimes I have to ring Newbook and I'll go, hang on, this is the scenario. This is what I've got to set. Can you just please tell me the easiest way to set that, or the quickest way, or the best way to set that? And I do quite often throw curveballs to Newbook when it comes to rate setting. And I just find that the tenacity and the grit of the Newbook support team is world class. It's outstanding. They will go, no, I'm going to work it out, and they'll take you through the process, and they'll go, can I just pop you on hold for just 30 seconds? And so it almost becomes, and then they'll bring another person in. It all becomes like a team solving exercise, and I always feel really quite loved and respected when I've hung up, because you've been amazing and you've helped me sort out a problem for one of my clients, to solve. So I think the service is outstanding, highly like one of the best things I think about Newbook is the staff and the team and the support and the cohesiveness that you guys have created, and that really comes across to the users. It's amazing. It's a great culture. Mm.